Okay, guys, and joining us now from Globe Life Field, it's Texas Rangers right-handed pitcher, Jon Gray. Jon, thanks for joining us, bud.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, do they have you in a closet or something? Where are you?
It's like a big closet, I guess, but it's nice.
Well, that's, as long as it's a nice closet, maybe get some AC in there. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, how are you doing? You pitched Monday. The knee held up. You're pretty pumped up about it. So, just kind of what is your physical state as you see it?
Well, with how things have been, I feel like I haven't had much of like a season yet, but I think that's about to change. I think, things are feeling really good after my start. I kept the brace on and didn't feel anything in there. So it's feeling stronger and stronger every day. And hopefully I'll only need it for maybe another start or two and then get to be like the other guys and play, normal.
Yeah. Are you doing is there any way to strengthen it or make it better, or does it just need to rest? Are you
a little both, just trying to limit my side to side movement and lifting and workouts, making sure I'm not really doing any kind of like twisting and turning on it, but there are other ways to strengthen it, and we've been kind of hitting those and just getting in the training room, red light therapy, taking it easy, but it's working. It's paying off.
Yeah. I think people who've watched the games, this isn't a little brace. This isn't something you just go pick up at the grocery store. I mean, this thing looks like what offensive linemen wear.
It's like a big football brace, but and it kind of stinks. Like it's heavy. It's kind of in the way, but it's manageable. Like I'd rather be able to play with this on than sit out for another couple weeks. That would be not the way to go.
Absolutely.
I mean, I can't imagine you new team, opening night, you get a blister, then you come back, first start, ready to get rolling, and then the knee thing happens. How aggravating was that?
Super aggravating. Because I felt really good during spring. I had a good spring. Was working with some new pitches, and those are playing really well. But I didn't get the opportunity to kind of build off of each start. I didn't get to pitch every 5 days, so every time I got back out there, it was kind of like starting over again. So just trying to find some footing and really kind of start to sprint. But I think I'll get the opportunity now.
Yeah. I mean, next up, what's Saturday, right? At Houston at Minute Maid. I would, and then you guys will have an off day, and I don't know if they'll use the off day to keep you on turn or not. But I know players talk about how valuable off days are, but it would seem like as a pitcher you would just want to get into that rhythm. I know you have to take off days, but you just want to get it and go.
Oh, I'm sorry, I lost you guys for the last 5 seconds. I didn't hear much.
Oh, it just seems like you'd want to get it and go. Take off days, get into that rhythm.
Right, yeah, and that's like because 5 days feels almost too long for me. I like to get on the mound as much as I can, and you start to remember more things about your delivery. I feel like when you have a long stretch where you don't pitch, you can kind of forget some of your strengths. Not that you're trying to, but there's only a few things you can think of when you're actually pitching. And, and that's constantly evolving. You're constantly thinking about new things, how to make yourself better, how to change things to not be the same. But and that's kind of what I really want. I really want that kind of rapid fire.
Bullpen. How do you treat your bullpen sessions? Are you tinkering? Or are you just getting in there and getting work and
a little tinkering? Most of it's work, but a little tinkering. If I feel like a certain pitch was off, then that's really something I really want to like put my focus on. If a certain pitch was off from last start, that's something I really want to take care of. But other than that, I really just like to use everything. I like to locate. I like to not just throw a fastball away. I'm throwing up and in on a lefty, or down and away to a lefty, or up and in on a righty. I just try to be very specific and visualize hitters in the box and make it game-like.
How much has that changed? Not necessarily I guess your bullpen work, but like just the thought processes, all the data that's out there now, and the advanced, the scouting reports seem so much more detailed than maybe when you were a rookie, or even, I don't know, 3 seasons ago. How much has that changed?
It's changed a lot. And I remember when it first did change, it was always about low fastballs. And I remember, I don't remember what year it was, but everybody was pitching up in the zone. It was working. And you see a lot of that more now. Guys kind of, filling up the top of the zone with fastballs and letting their off speed play down. So that's something that was one of my first changes I made was, all right, I really want to be good at throwing to the corners up in the zone. And that's something I've done in every bullpen session since. And I think it's really helpful.
Well, it seems like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like a couple years ago, there was and I think Darvish was kind of the poster boy for this, but a lot of hitters were hitting his sinker or hitting sinker balls and getting them out of the park. So I don't know if that's where the high fastball thing started, but it seems like this is a major adjustment to what hitters had adjusted maybe to pitchers.
Yeah, for sure. And things like that constantly change. I think they're definitely, 10 years ago, there were a lot more sinker ball guys, sinker slider guys. Now it's a lot of four seam. Can I get, and all these numbers like vertical and horizontal, can I get my ball to play up in the zone and then spin something off of that, tunneling, so much new stuff. But that's what, I don't know, it's what keeps it. It doesn't let things get old, like it's, there's always something you're kind of striving to obtain. And that's the kind of fun part of it.
Sure. Definitely the biggest change for you this season is you're no longer pitching in Coors Field. And I know that some people might kind of not understand the effect that pitching half your games at Coors Field has and half on the road. You've explained how much you would have to change just your grips, or even, I don't remember if you said your arm angle or whatever, but it just seems like, you might be able to get a lot more consistency this year.
Right. Yes. And I felt that change in between Coors and sea level. I felt that change a lot with my fastball and curveball. At Coors, my fastball really played straight and it was pretty easy for me to throw it there. But when I would go to the road, it would be moving, like 10 inches across the plate. So, and so things aren't really, the muscle memory isn't the same. So you kind of have to take your sides and adjust them. And, I had to take two different arsenals. Like I threw a lot of curveballs on the road, and heavy slider too, but at home it was mainly fastball slider. I didn't really I threw changeups last year, but it was mainly fastball slider and occasional curveball. But there were some things that played, some things that didn't, but that's something you got to figure out for yourself. Other guys were different. Some guys threw curveballs at home just as much as they threw them on the road, but I just wasn't one of those guys.
Yeah. I grew up in Colorado, so I kind of remember the first Rockies season was my senior year of high school. So I never became a huge Rockies fan, but always followed them. Just remember Denny Nagel and Mike Hampton, these big signees that would come in and just couldn't ever figure it out. I just, every once in a while you get a real good season, but it just seems like, man, that's got to be the hardest job in baseball.
Yeah, it feels like it. Yeah, it's tough. Now, not only are you making those adjustments, but it's a big park, and there's a lot of courses. There's a lot of room for balls to fall in. That's what people don't really, or they see past. Sometimes they think about elevation, the ball flying, but it's really just the size of the field. Like there's a lot of things that drop in, even like the soft hits. There's a lot of room for it to drop, but that's something that kind of gets looked past. But that's what made pitching there so fun is when you did really great, when you shut down a good team there, you were, you knew it was because you were really good, not because you got lucky or anything.
Well, one of the most amazing things has to be that Hideo Nomo threw a no-hitter there.
Yeah.
I remember going to a game at Mile High Stadium, the old football stadium where Invesco is now. And Greg Maddux was right before the 94 strike. He gave up 3 infield singles. That's all he gave up. I saw Cliff Lee pitch in the postseason in 2010 at Yankee Stadium. He threw a 2-hitter and just dominated. But that Maddux performance, when you just kind of put everything as a context, it's the most dominating thing I've ever seen.
Because it's in Colorado.
It was in Colorado, and then he went 4 for 6 at the plate and hit a homer. It was it was pretty amazing. But it's just a tough job to have. So,
ball flies.
Yeah, but I know the Rangers are thrilled to have you. I know they gave you that great presentation, changed your slider grip a little bit, gave you ideas on how you could be better. So what's it been like? I know we talked about the injury, but since, let's say, the start of spring training to now, as far as getting acclimated with the team.
It's been really fun. It's been really fun. It's made the game a lot of fun. Everything feels so new and fresh. And I feel like I feel like we've kind of unlocked another side of like how I can pitch, I guess. And it's been a lot of fun to work with it, because I don't know what the limit is to this, but hopefully the sky's the limit with it. But it's a lot of fun to play with and to have new tools and, a great group with me. It's been nothing but a blast.
Well, and then the rotation is pitching very well here the last, I don't know, you can maybe go back a month. It just, the good starts definitely outweigh the hiccups.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. We all know we got off to a rough start, but yeah, we're starting to look more like ourselves lately. And pitching staff's been a big part of it. Martine and Dane and Hearn and everybody's throwing up good games, and our bullpen's been pretty solid, and our guys are cranking the ball right now. So it's a really good combination.
All right. Enough baseball talk. Our usual deal is that I ask the baseball questions, and then John asks you non-baseball questions.
Yeah, I get to have the fun.
Yeah, I have to be the hard-hitting reporter, and John here gets to throw you the softballs.
Yeah, that's me. I'm gonna lob them up to you. So you're born in Shawnee, Oklahoma, Chandler High School in Chandler, Oklahoma. Did you play any other sports when you were growing up?
Yes, I played. I did a lot. I wrestled until junior high. I wrestled through junior high or until junior high, and then I stuck with basketball, baseball, football through high school.
All the way through. What did you played football in high school?
Yes, I did. I played every year except for my senior year. I didn't play my senior year
because of baseball. You'd gotten so good at baseball.
Do you have cauliflower ear?
No. No. That terrifies me. I don't like that. But no, thank goodness I don't. No, I didn't do it that much.
I mean, wrestling's huge in Oklahoma.
Oh man, it's big. It's big time.
It's like Oklahoma, Iowa, Minnesota, Nebraska, and a little bit of Colorado. Like
Absolutely.
Wrestling is king.
It is. No, I know that for a fact. It's huge. Now, did you hit in high school or did you just pitch?
No, I hit in high school and I hit in junior college. I was a two-way guy in junior college for the fall, and then and when spring came around, I was just a pitcher. So, but I thought I hit pretty well in high school. I was really good as a sophomore, pretty good as a junior, but okay as a senior. I got kind of like worse as a hitter and better as a pitcher. So
it's worked out, John.
It showed me the way.
Yeah, you're good. You hit a few dingers?
Oh, in high school? Yeah, I hit a lot. I hit, I think, like 12 my sophomore year. I hit a bunch then. And I think
you're a big guy too, so
a handful the next 2 years. So it was a good amount.
When you weren't pitching, what position were you playing?
I was playing third base mostly.
All right.
All right. So that's athletic. You were athletic then. You were playing. That big arm. Okay, so people may not know this, but you were actually drafted 3 times. You were drafted out of high school, even 13th round, but in 2010 by the Royals. Then you went to the junior college, Eastern Oklahoma State, and the 10th round in 2000. So the next year you were drafted in the 10th round. You moved up there, and then of course you went on to OU, pitched there for a couple of years. 3rd overall pick in the first round of 2013. Here's my question I love to ask about the draft.
Okay.
In each possession from high school, junior college to OU, where were you when you got drafted, and how did you find out?
I can't even remember how I figured out I was drafted in high school and junior college. I think I was I want to say I was on the phone with my agent both times then, and then in college when I was drafted by Colorado in the first round, we were in a super regional. We were playing LSU. So our whole team was out, at draft night. We were having like a dinner, and they were announcing on TV. So it was really cool to experience that with the team. And we had a lot of guys go pretty early. So it was a big night for us.
That's cool. That's really cool. So now I know that. So you got drafted out of high school, which meant you were obviously recruited pretty good. You ended up going to a junior college. Did you do that because you wanted to be draft eligible again, or what schools were interested in you coming out of high school?
Oklahoma was interested in me in high school, but it wasn't not to the degree when after the junior college season, but that I don't think I was ready. I think that I was a small town kid. I was homesick. I still got homesick even in like high school. So junior college was it was kind of like a test for me, an extra year to kind of get ready. And but I made some improvements then, and I think I became a better pitcher there, and things progressed. But still wasn't ready then. Like I wanted to experience Oklahoma. I still kind of wanted to stay around home. So
sure,
it made the decision easy for me, but it wasn't as easy as the first one. It was still, I don't know. It was tough.
I get it. So let me ask you this: when was it that you first realized scouts are checking me out? So obviously in high school you got scouted. Was it your junior year, your senior? When did you go, man, there are scouts that are checking me out?
I think it was in between my sophomore and junior year. I played American Legion ball in Ada. I played for Ada. I played against JT Romito quite a bit.
Oh, wow.
And American Legion was fun. But that's when I kind of started to get more looks because our high school wasn't a big high school. I graduated with 84. So it was, It was kind of hidden.
You and my wife.
And but I think I want to say it was a lot to do with that. And I did do some travel team ball. Like I played in a perfect game series in Arizona in high school. A few things like that kind of helped. But yeah, it was a lot of it was American Legion.
Okay, this is another one of my favorites. Now we've had a lot of minor leaguers on here. We've had John Daniels, Chris Young, all of that. You're the second major leaguer. This is my favorite for a major leaguer. August 4th, 2015, you get called up to make your major league debut. Where were you? How'd you find out? Who's the one that gave you the great news you were going to get called up to the major leagues?
It was in, I want to say I was in the PCL playing for Albuquerque against Fresno. And I just remember our pitching coach like sent me out to do charts or something. And I was doing chart that game, and they called me into the manager's office, and it was Glenn Allen Hill who was our manager. And and I thought I screwed up the chart. And I thought I was about to get so like, hey, you're doing this wrong. Like we're about to punish you or something. No, it was he sat me down and told me the good news, and I was really kind of in shock. I didn't really see it happening. I was prepared for it, but it wasn't on my mind at all. I thought it was just something small. So to hear that, it was great. It was really cool, and it really sped things up a lot. That whole week was really fast. And
so where did you go? Were you on a plane that afternoon or that next morning?
The next morning I was on a flight to Denver, and then pitched the day after that. So it was everything happened really fast. That's what I remember the most. And it just kind of seemed like it was here and gone. But it was quite the experience. So
when you get the call, they're telling you you're going to the big leagues. Tell us, who's the first person you called? Mom and dad?
I called my wife. I had to tell her because we were supposed to get married in Nashville when we were there. We were about to take a trip to Nashville, and we had like this wedding set up and everything. And I had to tell her the kind of the good news and bad news. So,
honey,
we made it work. And got us here to this day. So,
hey, Glenn Allen Hill, a little known fact, terrified of spiders.
So am I.
And but like apparently, as I recall, he had a dream about spiders, and he sleptwalk. So he's having this dream about spiders, and they're all over him. And like he fell down the stairs. I think he had to go on the disabled list. I have to go back and check, but it was like in the 80s this happened.
I think I think I've heard the same story. Like he fell through like a coffee table or something like that.
Yeah, something happened, but it was because of his fear of spiders.
That's
arachnophobia, right?
Yeah, look, I don't like spiders either. I can pick up a snake. I don't mind messing with them. I do that. But boy, a spider gets on me and I start to, I'll freak out and scream like a woman. I'm not afraid to admit it. Those things, those bites can be bad. We talked to you outside the dugout that day, and now my son's favorite player is Jon Gray because of Rocket League. You're a big gamer, and Jeff wrote a great story about that. But you're not like a lot of these guys. You're not big into. I guess you would play Madden and some of that stuff, but that's not your thing. You're really into to the virtual stuff, and tell us about that. You're really into the video games.
Yeah, I've always been. Yeah, it's always been a thing with me. I've always loved video games. I played against. I had a brother that was 1 year older than me, so we were always going back and forth playing something. He was more into the sports games, and I was more into like this other stuff, the sci-fi. Like I'm a big sci-fi fan, so. Anything that's not realistic, I love it. I love the Elder Scrolls is like my favorite thing in the world. I love that series. And,
that's for the Mohawk, right?
Yeah. I hope to get a job with them someday. Cause I would love to work for Bethesda, but, it's always been a big part. I think ever since, Pro Bowl, all my college buddies, we would always get together each night and get in the same party and play a game together. So it was a good way to kind of keep in touch with everyone. And it's also safe. You're not, when you're in a hotel in another city, you're not outside, taking risks. You're inside having a great time.
Absolutely.
Resting your body. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. And you're the one that told me it's one of the fun games I played with my kids, Jeff, was the Rocket League, and had a blast. And my wife and I were talking about John telling us that. And I said, John told us outside the dugout, you can upgrade and do, and Kevin, my son, was he was like, yeah, you can. You can do he knew all of that stuff, which was really cool. So a couple more before we get out here. Now, besides the video gaming, outside of baseball, do you do anything? What are your hobbies? Do you hunt, fish, anything like that?
My wife and I like to fish a lot. We've always been big into fishing. We started fishing together in junior high and high school. So it's been our thing. And, but I just like to be outdoors in general. I like to work outdoors. When I'm just outside working on something, it's my place, it's where I like to be. So, I don't know. There's other things I like to do too. I like to go. Yeah, I love to golf. I like to bowl. I like to go bowling. I like to go to the movies. So there's quite a bit of things we like to do. Yeah.
Do you do your own yard work?
I love my own yard work. Yeah.
I love doing the yard.
I do too.
I love it.
That's how I work out. You didn't know me beforehand, but I've actually lost like 25 pounds because I'm a little fat dude, and I'm starting to lose weight. But getting in and sweating, I like to do that. I love
doing the yard.
I'm old and
my
feeling
time.
Better.
Just get away from me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Last one before we get you out of here, John. I know you guys got a game tonight, and we really appreciate you doing this. This is a question. We've had some great answers, and so we've already found out a lot about John here on this, but it's what is something that nobody knows about Jon Gray? And let me tell you some answers. Brock Burke, who's coming on here next week.
Yeah.
He sleepwalks. Don't know if you know about that. You need to ask him about that. It's crazy stories about his sleepwalking and scaring some of his minor league deals. John Daniel, the guy that met and there. John Daniel has airplane underwear.
Yeah.
It's his, he's got underwear that he wears when he gets on an airplane. And he has to have two pairs, one for the flight there and one for the flight home. That was something weird. Jack Leiter, minor leaguer. Don't know how much you've interacted with Jack. This is the weird one to us, and I hope you're not the same way. He can't stand peanut butter. We don't get it.
Yeah.
What is something that nobody knows about Jon Gray?
Oh, that's a really good question. I don't know. I feel like
you're an open book.
No, we've already asked him a lot of neat stuff he's done, so it's okay if you're like, I don't really know.
I don't do anything. I don't feel like I don't do anything weird like that. At least I don't think so.
Your wife could probably answer that. Oh,
Well, here's one that I wrote about. He likes the original Star Trek.
I do like the original Star Trek. Yes.
Like over Star Wars?
Yes.
Oh, John.
He like
Star Wars.
William Shatner TV, not like the movie. The movie.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess most people probably already know. Like, I don't know. I'm a citizen of the Cherokee Nation, but most people know that. I feel like that's like the weirdest thing about me.
No kidding. Okay,
there you go. He didn't know.
That is interesting. He's because you're from Oklahoma, grew up there, and you are say that again. You're a member of the Cherokee Nation.
Yeah, I'm a citizen. Yeah, I'm a Cherokee
citizen.
Yeah.
Now, do you have family, I guess, that were Cherokee? So you got some Cherokee blood in you?
Yeah, I'm like, 10%.
Hey.
Yeah.
So
that's still awesome. That's incredible.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty neat. Okay. Well, you know what? What did we learn about Jon Gray? He's like, he is 1/10 Cherokee and he's part of the Cherokee Nation.
And I can speak a little bit too.
Oh, that would be cool. Now, do you have a grandmother or a grandfather or somebody that taught you that, or just growing up in Oklahoma?
My great grandmother knew it, but her sons didn't learn a whole lot. They kind of knew words. And so when I went to college, I enrolled in Cherokee to kind of learn more about it. And it's really cool because if you learn their language and how it's used, you can kind of understand them a little more. You can understand what they're about more and the way of life. So it's pretty interesting. It's a very, very hard language to learn though, because there's 26 characters in our alphabet. There's 84 in the Cherokee language. So there's quite a bit to learn.
Crud.
Well, I'm going to stick with English.
Yeah, but that is fascinating.
That's pretty cool, John.
That is fascinating. Okay, John, get back out there. I know that you got to get ready for the game tonight. You're not playing tonight, obviously, because you're pitching Saturday.
Though, right? Bullpen.
You got a bullpen you got to throw?
Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah.
John, thank you so much. We appreciate you stopping down from us. We'll see you out at the yard, and good luck Saturday.
All right, appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
All right, John.
That's Jon Gray, right-hand pitcher for the Texas Rangers. Thanks, John.